Hey guys, another beautiful day. My name's Trent. On social media I am the Corner King, and today I'm going to give you the 5 likes that I like about my 2020 Challenger Scat Pack after 20,000 miles of ownership. I've owned the vehicle about 7-8 months, put 20,000 miles on it, and I want to go over what I love about the car. With that, let's go ahead and drag in that intro. Alright, first things first. The sound of the motor. It's amazing. The sound of the exhaust note. And the whole reason why I went from my BMW 3 Series to this vehicle was because of the sound. Let's do a little warmish start. Now my vehicle has the Mid Muffler modification to the Dynomax race bullets. This is in auto mode. I didn't put the car in sport mode or track mode, but I will tell you that the exhaust note in this car is intoxicating. If you think you're going to get 22 miles a gallon in this car, like it says on the window sticker, by just driving the thing around town, you will always have it in sport or track mode. You're always going to be driving this car to hear the exhaust. It sounds amazing. Alright, the second thing I like / love about this car is the overall performance of the vehicle, as well as mod support and aftermarket part support. I don't have a whole lot done to this car. I do have the AFE Hellcat lower intake, AFE air filter. It's on stock wheels. Stock suspension. I do have the Dynomax race bullet, so I haven't really done a whole lot to the car, but there is many websites out there that does all kinds of interior, exterior, performance, suspension, aero upgrades for this car, and I do have plans for it. So we got some things coming up in the performance and mod department, but for right now, I love it being stock. I love it. You know, I commute in it quite a bit. The suspension is great. It's not excellent. I mean, it does have a great base for with the Brembos and the brakes, and the suspension is really good. But I think some bracing is going to be in the future. Probably some strut tower bars, rear strut tower braces. I do have maybe some aero to it, but the overall mod support for this car is amazing. The third like or love about the Dodge Challenger Scat Pack is the way the car looks and the paint options. My vehicle is the high Octane Red. It's a beautiful color. I didn't see too many of them when I initially bought the car about 7-8 months ago. But I see a few more in my area, Temecula, Murrieta, California. But the paint colors for these cars are amazing. Like, I like the Frostbite Blue. That's the color I really, really love, but I fell in love with this high Octane Red. And just the overall look of the car. The Scat Pack has the emblems, the graphite rims, the satin black trunk spoiler, satin black lower trim. I know it's hard to see in the shade, but the lower trim, right? The gas cap, satin black. Just the overall look of the car is amazing. I get tons of compliments, tons of net braking and looking, and with the sound of the car, it just amplifies muscle car, pure American muscle, and that's what I love about number 3. The fourth thing I love about this car is the interior. On the Scat Pack, you got the embroidered Scat Pack logo. You've got the Alcantara inserts, the leather exterior, the dash with the 8-inch Uconnect with performance pages. This car is amazing. I do get my wife and 2 kids in this. I have a daughter that's 13, it's about 5'7". My son sits in the back. It is not the most spacious car. It really is not. However, my kids get to use the center console with cup holders. Everybody fits in. My wife isn't complaining about the seats. She complains about the car because she hates it. This is an unapproved purchase. But the overall feel of the car, when you sit inside of it, just the way the seats support you, support the passengers. They're not too uncomfortable. They're not the most comfortable in the world, but they're not the most uncomfortable seat. So, but I love the way the interior looks. And there's only a couple things I dressed up. I dressed up the start button. Sorry. There we go. I dressed the start button. And then my custom phone mount, which I do have another video for that, and I'll link it. So that way you guys can take a look at that. But I love the interior and the way everything lights up. You connect with the performance pages. You can see the screen no matter what kind of light it is. It has automatic brightening, dimming. I do not have the nav option. I do use Apple CarPlay. But the Sirius is always good. The apps, the controls, everything is on point. Lots of app support. And once the screen comes up and loads up, I do have performance pages, the SRT dashboard, the setup, your launch control, activate line lock, what the RPMs for launch control is, and then the performance gauges. You really can't go wrong with the interior of this car. It's amazing. The cooling seats great, heat seats work great. Heated steering wheel damn near burns your hands. It's so hot, but in those cold mornings where you're sub 30s or lower here in Southern California over the past winter months, it does give you a level of comfort that a lot of cars wouldn't without having more options and more option packages. Alright guys, and my 5th like or love about the car is the trunk space. I've taken my daughter to the airport. My wife and I have gone to Vegas in this car. All the luggage that she brings, as well as, we load up groceries in here. I'll insert a couple pictures now. So as you can see by the photos, we could load this thing full of groceries and do a grocery trip from Sam's Club, Trader Joe's, and Target all in one area. So there's plenty of room in here for whatever you need. Not only that, but if you pull up the lower tray, it's where the battery is, it's where the air pressure gauge is, and as you can see in here, I have a blanket, umbrella, car rags, first aid kit, and a tool bag with some tools and some detailer and some other items that I carry around with me, and some. There's another little pocket here that has some glow sticks in it, emergency roadside flares. So I mean, there's plenty of room to store things in this car.